I'm Michael DePlata. I'm the VP of Creative at Monolith Productions on Middle-earth: Shadow of War.
So Michael, talk about what you're showing here with Shadow of War at Gamescom.
So today we're showing, we're really excited because we're showing one of our story missions and we're showing one of our most iconic villains, Tar-Goroth, who's a Balrog of Morgoth. And we're also showing an entirely new part of the world, so Gorgoroth, which is the kind of volcanic heart of Mordor.
So talk about the process creatively, about you reaching into Tolkien's world and just making all these things come to life, stuff that it's not only original but also that's never seen interactive or film.
Yeah, what you described then is the double part of the challenge. One, it's having to go really deep into the books and the movies and trying to make sure that we're approaching things in as authentic a way as possible. But at the same time, we have to try and create something new and surprising and exciting, because when you read or watch Lord of the Rings, constantly you're encountering new wonders and new mysteries and new creations, and that's a big part of what makes epic fantasy so compelling. So we have to create new elements, but we have to do it in a way that's very authentic to the themes and the reference points. And we also have to do something that works as a game, that provides the gameplay and the sort of freedom and the interest for the player. So intersecting all of those things is a really interesting challenge, and that's where, for example, being able to have something like summoning a Balrog from the pits of Mordor and having Karnan, who's this nature spirit who can also transform and take the form of different beasts that you can ride and use, is when everything sort of comes together to make these excellent moments in the game.
So talk about what that opens up for you creatively, being able to show Celebrimbor and the origin of the First Ring. A lot of people, who haven't read the Silmarillion didn't know about until they played Shadow of Mordor.
So we actually draw all of our reference from The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, but The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings are so steeped in history and references. So Celebrimbor is right there in Lord of the Rings, but he's just mentioned periodically or in the details or by Elrond, but we can draw on those details and put them together and then use them to create an original story that works within the sort of canon of Tolkien's works.
So talk about the combat. You guys have opened the Nemesis system up tremendously in this sequel.
Yep. The combat, we've expanded the player's side, so the skill tree, the abilities, the upgrade, there's just tons of new skills that you have on your arsenal. But on the other side, on the side of the enemies, the orcs now have advanced classes, they have tribes who have unique weapons, they have the ability to use fire and poison and curse. Some of them have the ability even to raise the dead, so the variety of challenge as you're facing these different orcs is just expanded exponentially.
You talk about your relationship with Weta and what they provided in terms of support and assets to help make this game a reality.
So we worked a little bit, actually the Balrog that we saw today in the fight, they actually worked on some of the early concepts for that as well. We work with a whole host of different concept artists and partners. For example, John Howe, who was one of the principal artists on the films and has been one of the key Tolkien artists for decades, designed some of the Nazgul and things for us. Wayne Barlow, who's worked on everything from Avatar to Harry Potter to all sorts of amazing films, designed some of our creatures and Karnan. So we get to work with just this incredible range of amazing artists.
If Tolkien was alive today, what do you think he would think about his universe being an interactive media like a video game?
I have absolutely no idea, and I have no way of asking him. So the Nemesis system has expanded enormously just in terms of the range and personalities and actions the enemies can take. The world has come to life a lot more because we have many more varied missions that they're going on that actually match their personality. So for example, if someone's a hunter or a tracker, you'll find him on a hunting mission. So you're finding them immersed in the world, behaving much more like their personalities and roles dictate. We've added tribes, so the Nemesis system now extends its influence to the entire world, not just to the enemies themselves. We have advanced classes, we have different weapons, it's exploded. And then, as well as having it being a system of creating these memorable enemies, now as you build your army of followers, there's a whole extra dimension where they can be your saviors or helping you, or you summoning them as bodyguards, so we're just really blowing it out.
You can, in the demo you showed us today, we can actually, you show me summoning a cave troll or a troll, and then he can actually help you fight enemies, and you can even give him commands.
Yeah, so you can assign any one of your followers as your bodyguard. You can summon them into combat. You can target enemies and give them orders, and they'll go and attack for you. So it just adds a whole new tactical dimension to the game, as well as the action expanding so much.
When does the game come out and what platforms will it be on?
The game comes out on October 10 this year, and it's on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC.